Okay, so you asked how people are working on these newspaper photos. I have Adobe Photoshop CC 2014, so it's an older version. It's not the newest version. Um, but many of the tools that are available here are, gosh, all the way back to version 7. So there's some things that are on here that you may or may not have, and you may have the more advanced version than me. But the first thing I would probably do with this one is crop it, because you have a lot of white space from your scanning, and I'll probably um, try to straighten it up as well while I'm cropping. And I noticed that the newspaper article is not complete. I'm not sure why that is. I'm going to try to straighten it up a little bit while I'm cropping it. And sometimes you have to zoom way in order to get enough control for this fine tuning of your crop. It's still just a little crooked. Okay, and then I would duplicate the layer because I never want to mess up the background. This way, if I make a mistake, I can just delete this and go back to the background and start over. Photoshop comes with several healing tools: spot healing, healing brush, patch tool, content aware move tool, and red eye removal. For the most part, I use spot healing and patch, but I also use this healing brush tool a little bit. Patch is probably my favorite, but with patch tool, now I don't know how well it's going to work on this because I've not played with this at all. This is fresh. You're seeing it the same time I am. So I'm just going to select a little section of his forehead here where that scratch is. I don't know how well this is going to work because of all these dots. It's not really working very well. So another thing you can do, and we'll just see how this works, is I'm going to select this entire scratched portion here. Go to Edit, Fill, change this to Content Aware. That's a little better. I'm going to do that again. Yeah, that's a little better than the repair tools. It's matching up those dots a little easier. I can still see a little bit of that line across there, but that's much better. It's kind of experimental. This is the dodge tool, and I'm just going to lighten that up a little bit and try to match the surrounding area, the tonal value there. I can also try, and I'm just going to make another duplicate layer here. I'm just going to try this. This is the color replacement tool, and I'm going to hit Alt. And first let's go to the eyedropper tool. We want to make sure that the sample size is at least 3 by 3, and I might even try 5 by 5. Let's go back to color replacement tool. This way it doesn't pick up a single pixel, it picks up an average of 5 by 5, so 25 pixels. So I chose a color using the Alt on my keyboard, and then I'm just going to brush over this and see if I can get this to match a little. Maybe I'll try picking a color from another area. Yeah, not really happy with what I'm doing there, so I'm going to take that off. Try more of a, yeah. Like I said, I'm just experimenting here. So I can't really seem to get a good match here. No, not working for me. That depends if you want to keep it yellow. That would be one of the tools I would try. If you want it black and white, then that simplifies things a lot. We just go to Image Adjustment, Desaturate, and just desaturate it. And that helps things a whole lot. And I see, still not quite happy with how this repair looks. I'm going to try burning it a little. I'm just trying to make it all kind of match. This spot right here looks strange to me, but I think that's in the original. I don't think that's a damage. And then when I come down here where the crease is right across the lettering, this can get a little complicated to fix. One thing I have done in the past is, like I said, that's O-U-R. So if I really want to make it right, I can borrow this O, go edit, copy, edit, paste, use my move tool, and place it on top of that O. And like I said, this depends on how much you wanna put into the effort here. I added a mask to this layer by clicking on the third icon over, and I use black to color in those edges and blend that in. And then I'm going to merge that layer down into the original. You can also use the patch tool. It's not doing a really good job for me. So you can try the healing brush. Healing brush is similar to, I didn't mean to go over that letter. It's similar to the stamp tool, but it also tries to repair and blend, and that seems to be doing a little bit better job here. And the trick is to hit Alt and select an area and choose multiple locations for your source. Otherwise it starts coming out looking like a pattern. I don't know why that keeps getting darker and darker. I'm trying to make it lighter. So I may switch to the dodge tool and just lighten that spot up. So yeah, the trick is to hold down the Alt key and click on varied locations for your source. If you're not happy with the result, just go back in your history or go to undo and try it again with a different spot. And do use a variety of spots so that you don't wind up with a pattern. Now the reason that's getting so dark is because it's grabbing some of this black and trying to blend it in and make it match. And you can just use the dodge tool and lighten it back up, or however you want to do it. Yeah, the same here with these other letters. Like here's a very nice K. I can just grab it, move it down here, get it lined up with the other letters, add a layer mask, use your brush tool with the color black, and just erase those areas or mask those areas that you don't need. And it looks like I don't have it quite lined up, so I'm going to move it a little. I can turn down the opacity so I can see the K underneath, so I can actually line it up properly, and then turn it back up. And then, like I said, just mask out that area that was too white, that didn't match. It would be nice if you could just find the whole word like, so you don't have to do each letter individually. I don't know if there's another instance of that word in here. But anyway, that's how I would work on repairing one of these. I don't know what other persons have done for you as far as the photo itself. There is a method some people use. It's called smudge painting. I do have another video on that. If you're interested in it, let me know and I can give you the link to that. But just to repair it, to make it look like a newspaper article again, this is how I would do it. And I'm going to merge everything together here, and then I do need, I think, to adjust these levels. It's a little dark. You can also, let's see, it would be image adjustment. Shadows and highlights. Couldn't think of what it was called. With shadows and highlights, you can fine-tune how the photo looks. Turn the highlights up and down. The mid-tone contrast, I can change that. I'm going to open up the shadows or darken them down. So anyway, that's how I would do it. And I hope this helps you, and let me know if you have any questions.